Okay, here we are. So, what I thought I would do this time, it's been a little while since I streamed. Anyway, I'm going to go around. Beetle carapaces are a hot topic right now. Everyone's wanting them or wanting to buy them. And, I do a bit of crafting myself, and I always need more beetles. So I've gone on the search and like, where can I get beetles? So anyway, I have 4 areas that I like to go to get beetles. So I was going to walk you through what I do, where I go, and the loops I take through the areas to kind of give you an idea of what I think is a pretty decent way to get beetles. So we'll start with a nice easy area first. Um, and this is going to be the what's called North Brightbone Mountains, I believe. Anyway, that's the East Reach Gap just north of Soul Town. We're going to head over, we could cut across the bridge here like we're going to head to the Spectral Mines. Well, we're not actually going to the Spectral Mines. We are instead going to go to the forest. So there's the mines. But if you just go right over here, North Brightbone Woods, it's a tier 4 area, pretty easy, but great place to get beetles. For most of these, I think, in fact all of them, I'm just going to go into the default entrance and show you how I do my loop. And of course, there's a lot of other resources in these areas besides cotton and beetle carapace, but we're going to focus specifically on the beetles today. And hopefully it won't take too long to get through and give you an idea. Alright, so here we are. And I'm just in some light leather armor here to make it so we can cruise along nice and quick. So you just follow the road, and you'll come to kind of this first main area. You got the lake over there. And there's our first cotton bush. And there are, I believe, 15 cotton bushes in this zone. And I usually, on average, get like 2 beetles each time I go through the loop. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but it averages out to be about 2. And it doesn't take very long to do the loop. In fact, sometimes, if you go fast enough, you're going to have to stop and do some mining or something to slow down just a little bit so you don't outpace the spawn. Anyway, here is the next one, nice and close. Number 2. In fact, I should make a list here of how many there are. I'm going to make some notches just so I can make sure that there are in fact 15. Alright. We'll let those guys fight it out. And, hey look, there's our third bush. Pesky little wolf can interrupt us. Alright. Back to harvesting. And once we get done with this one, we can either continue to go around the lake, follow the road, or I just like to cut across on this little platform here, because that takes us to our next cotton bush. This is number 4. Nothing there, but we continue on, and here is number 5. Also nothing there. Alright, so now that we're done with that, we go back to the road where the path would have taken us, and we turn in here. You see this nice little archway. Got a bunch of wolf dens and whatnot in here, and some more cotton bushes. Now let's take care of these guys so that they'll leave us in peace while we harvest. So anyway, the first one is just right here, and you can already see the next one off in the distance. So this is number 6. And that would be number 7 over there. Okay, we'll skip the meticulous for the sake of, well, I wanted to say brevity. That's probably not quite the right word. Expedience. All right, number 7. I don't want to skin the wolf. There we go. And from where we came in, I'm just kind of doing a clockwise loop around the area. So we just continue over here, and you can see the next cotton bush. This one also is not harvestable at this time, but there's number 8. So now we continue our loop. You can ignore all these guys unless you want to harvest all the stuff. There's a lot of, wood or wolves, bears, whatever, all over the place in here. So we just kind of follow the path. And now we're approaching one of the other entrances. And also, there's a little wall there of a village. But you can also see, hey, look, plant number 9. Okay. So far, a whole lot of nothing. Here's number 10. And if we continue on towards the village, but not quite, just around the rock, here is number 11. Alright, so now we go back to the path. I mean, you can go in there and wipe all those guys out, but there's no cotton in there, so since that's the point of this video, we just head back over to the other side of the path here where we got some more bears and another cotton bush. Looks like he hasn't really spotted me, so here is number 12. Okay, now we follow the path some more. And we'll see that if we just kind of keep going straight, look, here's our next cotton bush, and there's some ruins over there in the distance. Alright, that's number 13. And now we head over towards the ruins. You can already see the next cotton bush. Here it is, number 14. Not harvestable this time. You can go explore around the ruins if you want, but there's no cotton back there, so I don't usually bother. So then we just keep following the path, and there is number 15. Well, this was not a fruitful round because we got 0 out of 15. Oh well. Like I said, I usually get about 2, but sometimes more, sometimes less. So anyway, once you get all that, you just kind of keep following this around. It's really the only place to go. And once you do that, you end up back here, which is where we started. And then you can just do the loop again. I did it probably for about an hour last night and got 20 beetles out of it. So, it's pretty decent, and it's really easy. There's nothing to challenge most people. So it's, nice, easy, laid back, relaxed. I just want to get some beetles. So that's North Brightbone Woods. All right, next up, let's go Oh goodness, the name just totally flew out of my head. It's up by Owl's Head. Well, you know what? Let's go to Owl's Head and then we'll go out and then you'll see how to get there. So, Owl's Head. And it's a tier 5 area, but it's actually a really easy tier 5. I really think it ought to be a tier 4 area. It's another good place. I think the reason they have it marked as a tier 5 is because there's a couple of reapers in there you can take out if you feel so inclined. And I used to do this area quite a lot when I was lower level. It was kind of fun. It's got some elves and some kobolds in there. Alright, let's get out of Owl's Head. I'm looking it up on the map just so I can remember the name. It's bugging me that I can't remember the name. Just have a total brain freeze here. Oh yes, Greymark Forest. There we go. Alright, so yeah, we just head out of Owl's Head here. Greymark Forest is about halfway between Owl's Head and Kingsport. So there it is. And again, we'll just go into the default entrance. And this is also just a nice little round loop. Now in the last area, whereas I went in a clockwise loop, in this one I like to go in a counterclockwise loop. I don't know why, it's just the way that I originally did it, I suppose. And I believe that there are 11 cotton nodes in here. We'll verify that as we go. So you just start following the path, and then when it bends here, you just keep going up to this little hill. Not that hill, this hill. Anyway, you can see it. There it is. There is the first one. There's a couple of boars here we're probably going to have to deal with. There's some bears, but they don't usually bother you unless you go down in there. Alright, so there's number one. Okay. Oh hey look, we got our first beetle. Yay. Alright. So anyway, we head back down to the path and follow it along in a counterclockwise fashion. Lots of stuff to kill along the way if you feel so inclined. But then as we're approaching the kobold camp there, you'll see off to the right, you can see it from the road, there is another bush. Where is it? Did I miss it? Nope. Yes. I totally missed it. How did I miss it? Anyway, somewhere along here, there's another one. There it is. Anyway, it's not harvestable right now, but there's number 2. Alright, we'll keep on going. We'll ignore all these guys. They're fighting each other. And as we go to just past the kobold camp up on the hill on the other side, there is a third cotton bush. And in this little thicket here, you can, if you're sharp-eyed, you'll probably spot the reaper in there already. Gotta deal with these guys first. Alright, anyway. So we'll get number 3. And anyway, the reaper is just right there. So if you feel like fighting the reaper, It's a good spot. Or you can just ignore it. It's too far away to be triggered. Hey, look, a second beetle. Nice. So, anyway, back to the road. Continue following it around. And this time, when we come to the end here, instead of continuing on our counterclockwise path, we make a little detour off to the right. And just up the hill, there is somewhere along here. Oh, I didn't quite go far enough, I don't think. Oh, there it is. Anyway, here is bush number 4. Alright, so then we go back down to the road and we continue our clockwise rotation. Usually a couple L's over here you got to deal with before you can get to the next cotton bush. Alright, anyway, so once we get those out of the way, if you go off the road slightly, just up the hill, you will find another cotton bush number 5. This is the same, see there's the reaper right there, we're just kind of on the other side of the little thicket now. So, cotton bush number 5. Yeah, another beetle. Wow, we're getting good beetles here. This is more like what I usually expect in that other area too. Anyway, now we cross the river, and hey look, there's another reaper. You can go fight him if you want, or just ignore it. Continue on across. And now, we go straight ahead to those elves, but we're going to follow it across over here up to this little hill, because that's where the next cotton bush is. Right up here. Not harvestable, but that's alright. There's number 6. Okay, and we'll just go back down the hill to the road and continue counterclockwise. And as we get off the road a bit, we're going to get to our next cotton bush. Alright, and it's just off the path somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's not very far in. Cool, so there we have number 7. Alright, so then we go back to the road. Now instead of continuing counterclockwise around the road, we go back just a bit to this branch. Now those are the elves right there that we spotted when we crossed the river. So now we're back on that path. I gotta take these guys out because they'll never let us harvest the next cotton bush if we don't kill them first. But, you know, they're not too hard. And I'm in my, wimpy little crafting deck right now. Okay, so follow the road a bit, and you'll see a little hill. And hey, look, there's our next cotton bush. Number 8. I better kill the wolf. He's not going to let us harvest. Okay. So then we go past the kobold village, or not really village, camp, I suppose. And there's, we're kind of following the road roughly, but more we're just kind of cutting through the forest a bit, because here is our next cotton bush. But be careful, because look, there is a reaper right there too. That's number 9. I'd go kill a reaper if there were anything to harvest, but since there's not, we'll just skip it. So, assuming that you harvested that one, then we just continue on clockwise, kind of straight across. And here is number 10. Alright, and then for the 11th and final one in this area, we kind of go back to the road. We're going to have to kill a couple more elves to get to it. And then we head up the hill here. And there it is. Number 11. And that is everything in this area. I'll show you how to complete the loop to get back around in case you wanted to do it again. Basically, you just come back down off the hill and there's the road and just keep following it around counterclockwise. Cross the river. You know, there's elves and kobolds and whatnot to fight if you want. But anyway, when we get to here, kind of at this crossroads, right up on this hill, that's where we first started. So, there it is. Anyway, that is Greymark Forest. So that's area number 2 on our stop. Okay, so next area that I like to go to is one that you probably wouldn't think of so much for cotton, but man, I get a lot of cotton out of it. And that is Crag Foothills. So let's just zone there directly. And again, we will use the default entrance. Okay, so here we are, and this is actually one of my favorite areas. I come here all the time. It's got so much good stuff. It's got lots of ore, it's got lots of cotton bushes, it's got lots of elves that drop elven estocs, which I like to get the elven hilts out of when I make swords. You know, it's got a lot of undead. You get pretty decent gold, pretty decent XP. So, in fact, back when attenuation was 1 million, I could actually attenuate in this area, even though it's only a tier 5. But that's neither here nor there. Alright, so for this, we're just going to skip all that and we're just going to go straight to the cotton bushes and do the loop. And for this one, again, I like to do the counterclockwise loop. So here we go. And this one is pretty easy. We just follow the road. We can kill the stuff or we can ignore it. I'm just going to skip it. Don't bother that. Just stay on the outside loop. Or here's our first bush. I'm going to make a note, number 1. But it's empty, so we'll continue on around. And just to make it so we can tear through this a little quicker, I'm going to swap into a different deck. Alright, so now we get to this next little crossroads over here. You can see our next bush. Number 2. Right off the side of the road. It's also next to the east entrance there. Alright, and that was that other little path if we would have cut through. This just kind of does a loop around there. Anyway, so we continue our clockwise loop. Now we're going to go to the elven camp. There's a bunch of elves. There's actually like 9 plus 3 that wander a loop, so up to 12 in here. So make sure you can handle a couple of elves. They're not too hard, really. Yeah, bunch of fighters this time. Which is good, makes me happy. Might get a +1 elven estoc. No such luck. But anyway, whatever. Behind the tent here is our next cotton bush. Number 3. Oh, fail. Well, I guess you gotta fail once in a while, right? 9 out of 10. Alright, so then we continue our loop. Kill a few more elves as we go. Poor guy, never knew it hit him. Alright, anyway, so we're continuing the loop. And that's where we started the elven camp, just kind of looped around there. Now we're into undead territory here. Following the loop, following the loop. There is our next one, number 4. But before we can take out all those undead all around there, are going to come after us. So we got to wade through about a bazillion of these guys. Let's go over here and draw them out, because if we go in, it's just going to attract a whole bunch more. And we'll have to deal with all of them as well. Oh, hello, bear. I guess we'll have to deal with you as well. Let's get some light. Okay, great. Number 5. No, 5? Yeah. 1, 2, wait. No, this is number 4, right? Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is number 4 still. Okay. Cool. So, I mean, if you want to go up there, there's a bunch of undead. You can get lots of stuff off them. But we'll just continue around the outside of the loop here. Gotta deal with a couple of these wolves that are going to come after us. Alright. Couple more undead up here. Gotta deal with. Alright, I think everyone's dead, so now we can get on to the harvesting. So here is number 5. Also, we are very near the entrance to the Exeter Crag Mines, which is the best place in the game for gold, right through there. Alright, and then just, straight across from that other bush is this bush. Not there, though, for harvesting, but there's number 6. So, we continue on the loop. There's more undead. We'll try to ignore them. We'll just keep on the outside of the loop here to our next cotton bush, which is also empty. Number 7. Alright, moving on. A couple of bears and whatnot here. Also a little elven camp. There's also another cotton bush right here. Number 8. Not harvestable right now, but whatevs. Let's kill these guys while we're here. I can can see these wolves really want to die. Just go away, wolves. Oop, I slid down the hill. Oh my gosh, okay. Super annoying. There we go. Okay, anyway, continuing on our circular path. Another wolf we're going to have to deal with before we get to our next cotton bush, which is, here's another entrance, and right across from it, cotton bush number 9. Bunch of wolves here, there's a bunch of ore all around as well. We'll ignore all of that because we're after cotton. Go into here, and here is our 10th cotton bush. Also happens to be the final one of this area. But I'll show you how the loop completes. Anyway, just follow the road up, a couple elves over there if you want to go take them out. Sometimes there's an elf or two along the road here. Oh, I'm getting shot in the back. Alright, so moving on, and here is where we began, the default entrance to the south. Boom. So that's the loop here in Cragfoot Hills. Okay, and now for the 4th and final beetle stop. I like to go to Ulfheim. I loved the old Ulfheim. It was great for beetles, but the new one is also really great for beetles too. See if any friends are there and we just teleport to them. Oh, they're good. They'll save me a zone scroll. I'm going to hope that they went into the default entrance, but if not, we'll get to the default entrance and then start our loop. Alright, yep, looks like it took us to the default entrance. Great. So, here we are. And lots of good stuff in here, all sorts of resources, lots of ore, trees, reapers, wyverns, bears, wolves, boars, whatever. But if we start, we go to the left, just up the hill here. You know, let's just make my life a little easier and bring him along. We're going to have to take out these boars. Anyway, if we go up through here, there's either a reaper or a wyvern. Looks like this time we got a wyvern, and since everyone's always after those wyvern heads, let's go take it out. Just for fun. I love it when they're distracted with something else. Oh, now they're on to me. Alright, I'll ignore the bears for now, but I am going to skin the wyvern. Oh, no head. What a surprise. Alright, anyway, at the top of the hill here. Actually, not at the top of the hill, because if you keep going up in this area, there's a bunch of undead. You can go fight if you want, but here's our first cotton bush. And it also happens to be the only one on the left side of the main entrance. So everything else is over onto the right side, as far as cotton bushes go. So we're going to go back down the hill. If you go this way, there's a bunch of wolves over there. Anyway, we come back down to this guy, and if you get through the wolves and do that, then you come up this road. And then we'll head over here. So now we're going to the right of the main entrance. And here we will just kind of do a bit of a clockwise loop. Sorry, counterclockwise loop. So as we're going along up this hill, there's another cotton bush, number 2. Nothing there. But these wolves are jealously guarding their empty cotton bush. Alright, anyway, back down the hill, keep following the path. You will notice that right here, we got another one. There's number 3. Guess I should check my armor. What's broken? Ooh, my chest piece. Oh, look, a beetle. Good. Alright, and right across from it, another cotton bush, number 4. Now, we got to remember where this is because we got to jump back off here in a second. But we're going to go back and follow the path around over here into Barbarianville for a second. So if we go through those gates, then you start the wave battles of the barbarians. There's like 3 of them till you get to the end with the big giant bad boss. And it's a pretty fun area. I'd recommend going with a party though. And there are some cotton bushes in there, but we're not going to do any of those this time. But you'll notice right behind us, another cotton bush, number 5. Okay, so now we go back to where those other 2 cotton bushes were at the end of the road here before it turned. And then we head off into the wilderness, and you notice there's a reaper there we're going to have to take out before we can get to that cotton bush over by the rock. So let's go do that. Alright, so take care of him. Now let's go grab this cotton, number 6. Okay, anyway, we continue our clockwise journey. Gonna go up. There's another lake. We stay on this side of the lake. You'll see our next cotton bush, number 7. Yeah, there's a bunch of bears and wolves over here I'm gonna deal with. Alright, back to our cotton. Funny. Funny, funny. All right. Oh, we'll ignore Mr. Wolf there. Keep on going. And there is another cotton bush just around the corner. I guess we're going to have to deal with this guy. Okay, back to the cotton. This is number 8. Yep. Ah, well, thanks, Gaylorn. Is it Gaylorn or Galorn? I'm assuming Gaylorn with a little long A. Anyway, yeah, people are always wanting beetles, either to use them in crafting, or you can actually make pretty decent money selling them. So I thought, I'll show where I get my beetles from. And hey, look, another cotton bush, number 9. Gaylorn, cool. And then we drop down. Another cotton bush, we're going to skip it. That's number 10. And if we go up to the right here, there's a bunch of undead and ore nodes in there, which is pretty nice. And if we go over here, there's a reaper and cotton bush number 11, which we'll skip because whatever. All right, that takes us over to this guy. Are we still being followed? Oh, nope, the wolf. Oh, here comes the reaper. All right, fine. We'll deal with the reaper. Oh, he's confused me. There we go. I always got to find which way is forward after they cast that. All right, now he's out of the way. Back to our lovely cotton. This was number 11. And we're almost done. Oh, wow. Hi, everybody from Legion of Myth. Thanks for joining. We're at the end of near the end of my stream. So there's one more cotton bush. I'm just showing where I get my beetles. There's 4 areas. This is area number 4, Ulfheim, and there is cotton bush number 12. Ah, bastard wolf, come on. Leave me alone, I want my cotton. Alright. So, hi everybody. What did they do on Legion of Myth today? That's always a good stream. I watch that from time to time. Hey, cool, another beetle. Alright, and so that, my friends, is where I get my cotton. So I'll just do a quick recap for everyone who just barely joined. I usually start off in North Brightbone Woods, which is a really easy tier 4 area. And there's 15 cotton nodes in there. You just do a nice little loop. It's super easy. You can do it in your sleep. There's nothing to challenge anyone. I usually do that like late at night when I'm just kind of zoning out. It's pretty fun. And then we buzzed over to the name Greymark Forest, which is it's a T5. It's pretty easy, and you just do a loop through there. There's a couple of reapers you got to deal with sometimes. There are 11 cotton nodes there, and then I go to Crag Foothills, which probably a lot of people don't really think about for cotton, but there's 10 cotton bushes there, plus a lot of really good. I like the elven hilts that can drop there, because I like to make swords. And then finally off to the new Ulfheim, just kind of showing where all the cotton bushes are in this area. So from our harvesting today, we got 6. That's not as good. Usually I would probably have about 10 or 15 at least from this, but the RNG is not being kind today. Anyway, so that's that. I'm going to start hopefully streaming more often. I've done it in the past. I haven't done it much lately, but I think I'm going to get back into it. It's kind of fun. Anyway, I'm starving and it's lunchtime. So anyway, thanks for coming, and I'll catch you guys later. I'll post this on YouTube for anyone who wants to watch the full thing in the future.